Hello everyone, my name is Morgan and I like to make these tarot pick a card videos on YouTube. And in addition to reading tarot, I am also a writer. So I have a blog where I like to post spiritual related content. There's a lot of tarot on there, a lot of yoga, other spiritual stuff as well. So if that's something you are interested, go and check it out. I also have my website up to book private tarot readings with me. They are only $25 right now. So if that is something that you're interested in, if you like my readings, I would be so appreciative if you could book a reading with me. Just note that the times are in Vancouver time, PST. And yeah, so we'll get started today. I've actually noticed like a lot of weird spiritual things have been happening to me recently because I have started wearing Moldavite. It's a crystal. Technically it's not a crystal, but it's a rock, I guess, that I've seen everywhere and a lot of people have been talking about it. And yeah, I would definitely recommend it. The only thing is I found that I was having a really hard time sleeping at night. So I had to take a break from wearing it for a couple days, but yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spiritually receptive state right now. And so I decided to do this reading for spooky surprises coming in for the month of October. So this is going to be a reading that is focused on what is happening the month of October, what's happening in career, what's happening in love, what's happening in life, just kind of whatever general messages that came through in the cards today. I interpreted those, and because it is like what spooky surprises as well too, I interpreted at least one message per card that was Halloween related, that was a little bit spooky, about dealing with spirits or about dealing with your own mysticism. Just something like that. There's a message like that in each pile, so look forward to that. And yeah, happy upcoming October, everybody. Pile 1 is the Witch, pile 2 is the Cauldron, and pile 3 is the Cat. If you've never done a pick a card reading before, what I recommend you do is to pause the video and take 3 deep mindful breaths, and then choose the card that you resonate with the most, and then go and find that timestamp for the corresponding pile in the description box below and watch the reading for that pile. Thank you. Blessed be. Okay, so pile 1, if you chose the Witch card, then this reading is for you. We'll start with your tarot cards. The 2 of Cups. So potential new relationship coming in to your life the month of October. This could also mean the strengthening of a relationship, but let's see about the rest of your cards, what the rest of your cards have to say. So you've been working hard and you're going to continue to work hard. Okay, yeah, you're working hard. There is something that you have been trying to achieve, and I am getting for a lot of you that something is a relationship, and you have been putting in a lot of work in order to achieve a relationship. And this doesn't necessarily have to mean a romantic relationship. It can also mean the strengthening of a current romantic relationship, but it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a friendship that you're really building. You really want a friend to do X thing with. Maybe you're looking for a very witchy friend, or maybe you are looking on building and strengthening business type relationships, right? The 2 of Cups can talk about kind of any sort of partnership, even like a mentor and a mentee type relationship. But this is a relationship, this is a connection that you are actively working towards achieving. Okay. So the Death card, we're talking about the end of cycles. So what I am getting is that this relationship, you've been working really hard to achieve it. You've been working really hard to achieve your goals, but it's not working. What you're doing is having a negative reflection back onto yourself. So you need to change the way that you're approaching these situations. You need to change the way that you're approaching partnerships. Maybe you're having a really hard time drawing boundaries and you don't really know where boundaries lie, but there is something that is pertaining to this situation that is habitual that you keep doing, and that is why you're not getting anywhere. So Spirit does recognize that you are putting in this hard work, you're putting in a lot of effort. Spirit knows what you want, you've made it clear what you want, you've set your intentions. You just need to navigate how to achieve them better. Like, I'm getting that some of the behavior you've been engaging in might have been a little self-destructive, and maybe that is coming to light right now. So let's see what type of energy you'll be carrying through. The Liberator. So freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns, shadow attributes, imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. Okay, so very similar to what I was saying before, you're going to break free. This is what I see for you the month of October. You're going to be breaking free the month of October. And also, I feel like because we pulled this Death card too, I feel like you are really going to embrace the spooky season, right? This October, you are just going to fall in love with death. You are going to just embrace all things magical and Halloween-like, and I definitely picture if you're just getting into witchcraft, I could definitely picture you celebrating this Halloween as kind of your first like Samhain, your first Witch's New Year, really celebrating the holiday as a Wiccan holiday rather than our Western kind of ways of knowing of this holiday, our Western traditions around this holiday. So I definitely see you breaking free from those kinds of beliefs and making this Halloween practice your own. And people are always scared of pulling the Death card, but like I said before, it's the end of the cycle, it's the birth of something new, it's always a good card to pull, and I feel like you are going to embody that. I feel like you're going to embody the fact that death isn't something to necessarily be feared. It is something that we can welcome. And I definitely feel like this Halloween, you're going to, embrace those connections with your ancestors, embrace the connections with things that aren't living, and, take this as a time to celebrate those connections. Okay, so we have our Romance Angels cards here, and these cards are going to talk about any sort of romantic message, romantic happenings that are coming in October. Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So if you're in a relationship or you're going to be starting a new relationship, there is the possibility of travel. And with the honeymoon card, it could also just mean spending a lot of time one-on-one together, going on a lot of dates, just sitting at home and watching Halloween movies together. But just a lot of alone time and a lot of time where it's just the two of you and you can let your relationship foster in that way. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning into your love life. So I can definitely see this happening because in your reading, you have a lot to do with bad behaviors and past behaviors. So it's very likely that somebody could be showing up in your love life in order to help you break some bad patterns. So if you have been exploring things in a certain way, if your approach to relationships has been this like harmful, toxic approach, then you might need somebody from before to come back into your life and help kind of tie things up. I would really recommend even like a cord cutting ritual so that you can prepare for this situation, so that when this person comes back, you can see them in a new light. I don't think that this romantic connection is necessarily going to be a positive one. I think this person is going to come through in order to show you bad behaviors, but for some of you it might be positive. I definitely see relationships happening for you the month of October, but I don't think that the person who is going to be coming back necessarily is going to be a reconciliation of love. I think it'll be to tie up old behaviors and to kind of do a little bit of like fall cleaning. Okay, so your wisdom for the month of October, ground and center. And actually, I am going to pull you a butterfly affirmation card as well for just a little bit more guidance, a little bit more wisdom. Okay, so letting go creates space for me to receive. Yeah. This is definitely what you need to be hearing right now. So you just really need to stop putting so much effort in, because the way you navigate life, you are always being productive and you're always putting work into achieving this goal. And you'll know what goal I'm talking about. You'll know the thing that you're trying to achieve. For a lot of you, it will be relationships, but it could be career related. It could be anything. And Spirit is just reminding you that you need to really chill out, live in the moment, take things as they come. Don't try and plan your future ahead so much, because the future is never how we planned it in our heads. And a lot of times it's a lot better. So we think things need to go a certain way. We think about the past too much. We think about the future too much. We don't live in the present. We just need to take a minute, ground and center. I'll post a link for my blog on how to ground and center, some tips. I linked this last week as well, but I'll link it again because it's always good to know how to ground and center. And just creating space. When we fill our mind and our energy cycles up with all of this push to do things and this idea that we're never doing enough, that we're not doing enough, and that we need to control everything, we don't leave a lot of space in order for new things, new types of energy to come into our life, because it's all blocked. So we need to make sure that our energy centers are open. That's why grounding and centering is so important in order to be receptive of these new energies. If we want new relationships in our life, we need to be receptive of these new relationships instead of trying to control everything that's around us. Cornucopia. Okay, so I guess this could be another little spooky surprise if you are in Canada and you celebrate Thanksgiving in October. Then, you might see something happen around the Thanksgiving season. The holidays are when people start to get nostalgic. They come home and visit their family, and then they miss their exes. So I could definitely see that person reaching out around the Thanksgiving time, if you were Canadian. If not, still around that time. I don't know what time Thanksgiving is this year. I don't really pay attention to Thanksgiving, but I'm feeling those Thanksgiving vibes are very prominent here. I feel like Thanksgiving, if you aren't Canadian, if you're American and you're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving in November, then maybe it'll be preparation for Thanksgiving. But I feel like that'll be like a spooky surprise for you, is really getting to know the harvest, getting to know the harvest season very well, connecting to the earth elements through the harvest. If you celebrated Mabon for the past month, then maybe continuing through some of that magic. But that's a spooky surprise I see for you, for sure. I see something, if you are celebrating Thanksgiving next month, then I definitely see someone from the past coming in. I feel that very strongly for some of you. Man holding a heart, for sure. Yes, somebody coming in around that time. And I definitely see romantic relationships in your future. I see romance coming in the month of October, for sure. I've said that before. And with the man holding the heart, we're talking about finding the masculine counterpart for your divine feminine energy. Of course, that doesn't mean that you have to be looking for a man, but this person is going to help you balance out some of your feminine energy, because I feel like the reason you're trying so hard is because you care so much, and that you want to have this situation, you want to have love, you want to have this nurturing and kind relationship, and you'll find that when you meet the person that is able to balance you out. Vows. Okay, so this is your past life card. And with this past life card, we're seeing that the theme of marriage was prevalent in a past life, or prevalent in a current, but also prevalent in this current life. So I'm feeling like this person that you're going to be meeting, I feel like a new person is coming into your life, and I feel like this person you're going to be meeting, you did have a romantic relationship with them in a previous past life. You were married to them in a previous past life, and that does not necessarily mean that this person is your soulmate or that you'll be married to them in this life, but I see that that connection is definitely crossing over, and you might even have been married to that person from your past, and the reason why they need to come into your life again is because you have some karmic debt with them that resulted from a marriage in the past life. Atlantis. So this card can mean a couple things. It could mean that you did live in the lost city of Atlantis in a previous lifetime, and you were married to a person in this lifetime. It could also mean that some past life energy is going to be maybe influencing the way that you celebrate Halloween this October. So maybe you are deciding to dress up as a mermaid for Halloween, and if you aren't, then, and you haven't figured out what you want to be for Halloween yet, I definitely take this as a suggestion to dress up as something to do with the water elements, to do with Atlantis. So a mermaid would be great. I don't know if you want to dress up as like a fish, maybe that's what you want to do. You could be a cute little fish. That's definitely something that could be in store for you. But yeah, I see maybe just a lot of maybe imagery of mermaids coming into your life as well, imagery of like water folk and water spirits coming into your life as well. Metamorphosis. So there is going to be change in your life, but this change is being met with resistance, right? It's hard to move on from those old thought patterns, right? You're stuck in those old thought patterns, and it's hard to recognize the fact that you need to move on, you need to move forward, but it's going to be difficult to do that because these thought patterns are probably ingrained in you from previous lifetimes. It's probably not just this lifetime where you have learned to navigate relationships this way and learn to be so in control of relationships. But you know, you gotta let go and let change happen. And we have a little, I don't know if this is a butterfly or a fairy in this cornucopia card as well, but there we do have that butterfly energy, that metamorphosis, that change energy, that the cards are really pushing you to move forward, right? We have the death card, right? What is more of an omen of change than the death card, right? This October, you'll be changing. You'll be going through a personal transformation in order to achieve the thing that you want to achieve, in order to receive the goals and receive the energy that you need to receive. That you will be shedding some old past behaviors, but you need to not be so resistant to it. Spirit of place. Okay, so I like this card because it just reminds me of going on a little bit of a nature walk. It reminds me of really just going outside and being in touch with the energy around me. And this does have like autumn leaves as well. So what I recommend you do if you are in a place where, you know, the leaves change to red, yellow, orange, and blue, we have those very seasonal autumn colors, then I recommend just going on a walk, noting the smells, noting the colors you see, noting the animals that you see, and just recognizing that everything around you has spirit, everything around you has a connection to the divine self. And I think that by going on a walk like that, or just recognizing spirit of place, grounding and centering yourself, will really help you realize that it is not just you alone in this world. There is so many other forces at play, and you don't need to be so in control, because there's so much out there and there's so many other energies going on, and we just have to let everything exist in its place and go with the flow. Really just go with the flow the month of October. I would love for you to go on a walk. You don't have to, but I feel like the cards would really appreciate if you just went on a nice walk in nature, if you can find nature around you. But just really take the time to connect with your elemental surroundings. Take the time to embrace the fall season. You work really hard, but you gotta give some of that up a bit. Remember that no matter what you do, you're always working hard. You're always in a receptive state as long as you are letting go and moving on from that cycle, liberating from that cycle. I see you being in a potential relationship, but I also see someone coming back into your life, and that tie probably needs to be severed, is what I am seeing. And for Halloween, you might have a really fun Halloween. You might be very connected to your ancestors. You might really embrace the connection between the living and the dead. You might really embrace that connection when the veil to the spirit world is at its thinnest. And maybe you'll be participating in some water magic for Halloween as well. Maybe you will be dressing up as a mermaid. I don't know. There's so many things that could potentially be in store for you the month of October. I hope everything goes well for you. Blessed be. So pile 2, if you chose the cauldron, then this reading is for you. We'll start with your tarot cards like always. The card of victory, 6 of Wands. Okay. 2 of Swords, 10 of Swords. Okay, so what I'm getting for the month of October is that you will be forced to make a decision. There will be some sort of decision that you have to make the month of October. But what the cards are telling me is that the way you're seeing this situation is that it can go one of two ways. It can be really, really successful and things are going to go great and you're going to celebrate everything. And then the other way is that things are going to go terrible, it's going to be detrimental, and this is something that you'll never be able to recover from. But oftentimes when we make these decisions, we don't realize that there's always some sort of like middle scenario, or there's always other options. We kind of remain blind to the actual like content of the decision itself. We just think of the outcomes of the decision and how horrible or how wonderful they can go. We don't actually think about the ways we can navigate the situation or move around the situation, or if there's some sort of middle ground we can take, if there's some sort of compromise at hand. We're always just so worried that things are always going to go really bad or they're going to go really good, and of course our mind always shifts towards the really bad, right? I mean, not everyone's mind is going to shift that way. I'm sure there's really positive people out there who just think that every situation's going to be so amazing. I mean, I've met people like that. Like, we've seen characters like that on television. Phil Dunphy from Modern Family is like one that's coming to mind. Maybe you have that kind of personality. But more often than not, we have like our neural pathways that will follow the one that keeps putting us into these negative thought patterns, and it becomes really destructive, and we have a hard time making these decisions because we're so worried that they're going to be so detrimental. But I'm not seeing that this situation is going to be detrimental. I'm seeing that you are a natural manifester, that you are able to get what you want because intuitively you know how to work with energy and you know how to manipulate your environment. So I'm seeing that you're worried for no reason, and I feel like you worry a lot for no reason. You oftentimes think that situations are going to be really, really bad. You think every situation is going to be a 10 of Swords situation, and then it actually happens, and it's usually not as bad as you expect it to be. And when we do have those 10 of Swords situations, they kind of just come out of the blue, right? It's nothing that you could really prepare yourself for by having these anxious thought patterns. I really do feel like whatever you're ruminating on, whatever it's going to be, whatever direction you're going to take, the month of October is going to be a positive direction. I definitely feel like you have the tools, you have the resources to make the right decision. Murder. So this will be the energy that you're taking through into the month of October. So, light attribute, learning the transcendence of nature of service to oneself or a cause. Okay. Shadow attribute, addiction to self-pity. I definitely feel like you could be stuck you're stuck in a place of self-pity where you think that there's nothing that you can do in your life to control your circumstances, that the world is out to get you. I don't think you act like that all the time, but I feel like that might have been some energy that you're carrying through lately, and the cards are kind of asking you to flip the switch. Learning how to care for yourself and advocate for yourself in a way that is strong and healthy, because the cards know that you have the potential to do that. You did pull the Magician card. You are capable of self-love. So I'm feeling like self-love is going to be an important theme throughout the month of October. So these are your romance angels cards. I'm not getting like a strong love message here, except for there is a little bit of pink in the martyr. But besides that, I'm not really getting a strong love message, but we'll see. Ooh, okay, interesting. Passion and past life relationship. So you could be making a decision between two people, and the reason the decision is so hard is because you have like a karmic relationship with one of the people, or even both of the persons, and it's going to be hard to make a decision because you already know each other, right? Like you've built a bond together already, so that's why maybe things are so distracting. And if this is the case, then the cards are asking you to note, who do you have spark with? Who do you experience passion with? Right? It's not just about who looks good on paper and who can provide for you. It's who do you really feel that spark, that connection with? I listen to my intuitive wisdom of my own feelings. I am guided within. So this is your advice. Inspiration and courage. Yeah, so I feel like the cards are just telling you to really, really, really follow your intuition, to really trust yourself. To really trust that you are able to make the right decision and that you are able to navigate life with ease, because you have encountered every single challenge in your life up until this point and you've gotten by, right? You're still here, you're still standing. So listen to your own intuition, because your intuition knows what's best. And if you're making a decision, if you're trying to decide between people, if you're trying to decide between careers, if you're trying to decide between where to go on vacation, anything, just listen to yourself. And I feel like a spooky surprise too that the cards are asking you to look for is to do a lot of divination the month of October. I feel like that is going to be how you're going to connect to Samhain as a holiday, how you're going to really get into that Halloween energy, is to take on this whole mystical, psychic, fortune teller kind of aspect. Maybe you want to dress as a fortune teller for Halloween, but I definitely just see you sitting at your table with your divination tools and some candles nicely lit, embracing this magician aspect, right? So the cards are asking you to, how can you celebrate Halloween, but also accomplish this aspect of self-love, this aspect of making this decision, right? How can you celebrate both approaches? Well, the cards are saying, be a magician, but actually be a magician. Play with your cards, look into a crystal ball, use a pendulum to make your decision, to help you make your decision. Don't just rely on a pendulum, but use a pendulum to help you make your decision. The cards are telling you that you are magical. They really are. And they want you to embrace this magical side because it's Halloween. And, you know, the veil to the spirit world is very thin right now. It'll be very thin around the time of Samhain or Halloween. The Witch's New Year. Woman holding a heart. Okay, so honestly, I'm not really getting a strong love message for a lot of you. I feel like for some of you, there is a love message coming through for sure with the past life relationship and the having to make the decision. But I feel like for a lot of you, this is about self-love. This is about showing yourself, connecting to the divine feminine, stepping into transformation, stepping into change, really just giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, letting yourself relax, caring for yourself, knowing that whatever decision you make is always going to be the right decision. Community, so connecting with friends, maybe it would be a good idea to cast a spell with a friend, not necessarily like start a coven, but a spooky thing you could do is really learn to connect with your friends, or even watch movies together, watch Halloween spooky movies together, sit down, bake some Halloween cookies and watch practical magic together. There's so many things you could do to connect with your friends, and I could definitely picture a female friend coming in and really helping you, really showing you how to care for yourself, how to love yourself, and just reminding you that you are perfect. I don't know, maybe that female friend is me. But yeah, I think connecting to yourself and connecting to your friends the month of October is definitely a really good idea. So your past life cards, we're going to figure out a little bit more about this past life relationship. I'm going to try and figure out too if it is in fact romantic. For some of you, it might be romantic, but for some of you, it might just be this friendship. Like maybe it is this woman that is coming into your life to show you certain things. Imprisonment or slavery. Yeah. Okay. Greco-Roman. So, you know what? Yeah. Greco-Roman for sure, for a lot of you, because of this community card. They really just look like goddesses, and they're sitting in these pillars. So I definitely feel like for some of you, in a past life, you did live in Greek or Rome. In Greek, you lived in Greece or Rome, and some of you maybe even connect with Greek or Roman deities, and you might be getting more into your deity practice the month of October because the veil to the spirit world is so thin. You'll be able to connect with your gods and goddesses a lot easier. But I'm definitely feeling like for some of you, this past life relationship that you were trapped in, not trapped in. Well, no, honestly, I feel like for some of you, it is entrapment. It is, you feel like you're enslaved by this person. You feel like not abused, but you feel like you're energetically enslaved to that person, where you just feel like you can't kind of move on. And that is because you had a past life relationship together where you might have even been imprisoned together. That person might have imprisoned you. There's so many different possibilities, but I'm feeling like for some of you, you do have a past life relationship that it's hard to move past. And it's interesting because group 1 had a past life relationship too that was showing up in the month of October. So I wonder if anybody is like interested in astrology and knows about current transits in October that might relate to past life connections coming into fruition. I'd be really interested to know. But yeah, I'm feeling like for some of you that definitely could have been the case. And with anything with a past life relationship, if what I'm saying doesn't situate with you, if it doesn't resonate with you, then it wasn't for you. You didn't have this as a past life. Like if I say you lived in Greece or Rome and you just have no connection to Greece or Rome, you've never thought about it, you've never had like a desire to go there, you have no connection to it, then you probably didn't have a past life there. This probably just isn't for you. Coming apart. So there's a couple things, okay, I can get from this card. Bone Collector 2, again, is about manifestation. But I feel like your old ways of knowing are starting to dissolve because I feel like they haven't served you in the past. I feel like these old ways of thinking, these kind of anxious thought patterns where you think that things are either going to go really good or they're going to go really bad, it's hurt you in the past and it's caused you to break down in the past, and you don't deserve that. You really don't deserve that, and you're learning to live with your trauma. You're learning to navigate the ways of life based on past behaviors. You've collected these bones of the past, and you're trying hard to move on. You just need to show yourself a little bit more love, I think, in order to heal from your trauma. Yeah, and this kind of, it's gonna go one way or it's gonna go the other way. It reminds me of a quote a friend I made in the hospital used to always say to me. She used to say, depressive thoughts lead to all or nothing behaviors. So when we're really down about a situation, we tend to think it's going to end up horribly or it's going to end up amazing. It's really hard to find that middle path when we're stuck in a place of sadness and depression. So, I mean, lots of messages from the cards. It's going to be okay. Whatever decision you make is the right decision. Power through. For some of you, you're going to be trying to leave and cut off a past life relationship that you have maybe felt kind of enslaved to. But more self-love and friendship is coming into your life. I see divination as a tool to connect with yourself and to really celebrate this next Sabbath, Halloween, Samhain. And yeah, just don't be too hurt by the wounds of the past. They make you who you are today. If you chose the cat, pile 3, then this reading is for you. I'll start off with your tarot cards. 8 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, okay, so I feel like you're worried about something, and for a lot of you, the thing that you're worried about is career related. So you are unemployed, or you're scared about something at work, you're scared you're not going to get a promotion, or you're scared that maybe because of isolation things will shut down and you'll have to maybe work from home, or you'll be laid off. But I'm getting that a lot of this fear is in your head, because we did pull the Eight of Swords. A lot of it is just anxiety talking. The cards are kind of saying that you don't really have a lot to be worried about when this card comes up. It's saying that the thing that you're worried about doesn't deserve this kind of anxiety, because you're gonna figure it out and you're gonna be like, why was I worried about this in the first place? I caused myself so much stress because I was worried about this thing. And so I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to be career or school related. And I feel like something new is going to be coming into your life career-wise. There is going to be some sort of new project. There is going to be a job offer. I'm seeing a lot of you getting messages. If you're in school, maybe an important grade is going to be come back. Maybe some message on a grant is going to be coming back. There's so many different scenarios for each different person, but I'm definitely seeing something new in terms of career. And I definitely feel like you could be working with other people to achieve this goal. I feel like for a lot of you, you might be used to working on your own. You might be used to working in isolation, and the cards are encouraging you to collaborate with other people. And you might have been resistant towards collaborating because we are in the middle of a pandemic and it seems like it's a little bit more difficult. But honestly, I feel like this is a really good time for collaboration because everything is being done online. We're able to get in touch with people a lot quicker. So the cards are urging you to, if the month of October, work together with people, have fun with people, build your skills off of other people's skills. Ace of Swords. So a lot of new energy, a lot of new thoughts, a lot of new communication, a lot of new ways of thinking. I'm seeing a lot of newness coming in for you the month of October, but this newness, in a sense, that's not necessarily going to be particularly life-changing. You didn't pull any major arcana. It's not like you pulled the Fool card, but newness in a way that is going to benefit you. There's going to be new ways of collaborating and new ways of thinking is what I'm really gathering. There's going to be a new project underway for you the month of October. And the cards are reminding you that there is something coming. There's a new project, there's new opportunities arriving for you. You don't got to worry so much because it's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Mystic reveals an intimate union with the divine. Shadow attribute. Delusional rapport with the divine. Okay, so I mean, I'm getting that for some of you, this could be a very spiritual project that you could be taking underway. You could be doing something in your spare time. I don't know. You could be, like, this doesn't have to necessarily be career related. You could start making YouTube videos. You could start writing a blog. I'm just literally listing off things that I do, but there's a lot of things a lot of projects that you could be taking underway in order to connect with your mystical side. It's also saying that rely on your intuition throughout these projects. Rely on this mysticism in order to navigate the world of creativity and project building. You know, if you want a new idea, if you want new things to come into fruition, try meditating, try manifesting, try literally the cards are telling you to literally do anything spiritual in order to achieve your goals the month of October, because the spirit world is very, very thin the month of October. Did I say the month of October? Okay, the veil to the spirit world is very, very thin the month of October. So use your gifts in order to progress and move forward. And let's see if we have any sort of romantic messages coming in through for the month of October. I'm feeling like you guys are really busy. There's going to be a lot of career stuff. There's going to be a lot of passion projects. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And children. Your love life is being affected by children, so keep an open mind. This could mean you'll fall into a relationship that isn't necessarily the type of relationship that you would have envisioned for yourself, but everything is going to turn out okay because you know you were meant to be with this person. Your soulmate might not be your usual type. You might go for a particular type of person, and you might meet somebody this month of October and just immediately kind of cross them off your list. Like you don't want to see them anymore because they don't fit this certain like quota you have almost. And the cards are telling you, don't do that. If you have an attraction to someone, it's still important to be physically attracted to somebody, but you don't need to date the same type of person, right? Your soulmate could be anybody. You don't know, right? As long as you're attracted to them, that's all that matters. And your love life is being affected by children, so you might date somebody who has a child, or you might end up dating somebody and the discussion of children comes up, and that could be an important factor in your relationship. There's a lot of ways that we could talk about that. Also, it's interesting that this card came up now in my spooky surprise video, because we could also be dealing with a situation where there has been a child that has passed on, and that child is showing up. So if you've been seeing any signs of a ghost, if you have been hearing children's voices when you think you're alone, if you've been hearing what sounds like children playing, then this could be a ghost that's visiting you. It could be a child that you know that has passed away, or it just could be a spirit that is around your energy and wants to say hello to you. I definitely see that is coming into store the month of October. You could also really connect with a child who has a very strong psychic connection. So this will be your wisdom for the month of October. Nothing is impossible for the heart. Love will always find a way. And meditation to dig deep. Yeah, so I feel like this is similar to what I was saying here with like the keep an open mind. Love will always find a way. If it's meant to be, it'll be. Like, just keep yourself open and receptive to love. And because you are stressed, like, meditation is a really helpful practice, and it is good just to like go through simple like CBT exercises. Just Google CBT if you don't do it already, in order to figure out, okay, what can I change about my anxious thought patterns? What about my thought patterns are anxious? What is anxiety? And what is just regular, normal thinking? I feel like getting to the root of that anxiety is going to be really, really helpful in order for you to move forward and to fully accept these new opportunities of career and possibly love the month of October. The World. You can accomplish anything. You can accomplish anything. With this, as long as you keep this mystical attitude, you continue to manifest, you continue to work with spirit, you can accomplish anything, and you'll manifest this opportunity, this project, because of your mystical side. And manifestation does not mean constantly thinking about something, because that is just anxiety. Manifestation means visualization, it means setting intention, it means scripting, it means meditating with a crystal. Like, it doesn't mean constantly thinking about something, but you'll be able to achieve what you want if you manifest, and if you do your shadow work, if you unveil this anxiety in order to progress. Broken heart. Yeah, I feel like you have dealt with a lot. And I feel like October is going to be the month where you are going to mend that broken heart. For a lot of you, distraction will be a healthy way to do that, because you are going to be busy with this project and these new ways of thinking. And through another way is just like mysticism, just connecting to that divine spirit. The cards really want you to embrace that mystical side in order to mend your broken heart. And you know, your heart will heal, and you'll realize that you have the world ahead of you. That's the thing about a broken heart, is it always heals. It won't stay broken forever. And if you're sad over someone, then someone else is going to come along. Okay, so these are past life cards to see if any sort of past life energy is coming into play the month of October. Ooh, High Priest or Priestess, that's so interesting. So I definitely feel like this spiritual connection that you are falling into the month of October is because you had a spiritual gift in your past life. You were a high priest or a high priestess in your past life, or some sort of spiritual practitioner in your past life. And that's why you're so good at it. This is why it comes as a natural ability to you the month of October, because you've experienced it before. You already know this knowledge. It's something you've achieved in a past life. And interesting too, because we do have like the church here, right? So we're talking about gathering, and we're talking about gathering in these spiritual and religious spaces. And I definitely feel like this is you here. This is you leading people through. You're the one that's standing on the block. I feel like you're going to be the leader of this project, whatever it is. Or at a new job, you're going to be stepping into a new position of power. Because High Priestess or High Priestess doesn't just talk about spirituality, it talks about power as well, and leading a group in a healthy way, right? It doesn't say cult leader, it says High Priest or Priestess. Authority figures, yeah, for sure. So position of authority is coming to you this month of October, and that doesn't necessarily have to be like getting a promotion. It doesn't have to be, you know, being the boss. it just means taking on a new position of power, and that could also just mean empowering yourself as well, just stepping into this new role where you are like an empowered mystical human being the month of October. But that's definitely past life energy that is being carried through into the month of October. Golden Palace, okay. So we have abundance here. That's what the Golden Palace is. It is the card that is telling you that you can achieve this beautiful, magical, grandiose palace. You can achieve all the abundance you want in your life if you just continue on the right track. You just continue on the same path, do what you're doing, and keep manifesting things. Making a choice. Okay, so I think that this card is telling you that you can make a choice onto what spiritual path you want to follow. And I think that October is a really, really good time to do this because, like I said, October is the time when the veil is at its thinnest, so you'll be able to communicate with spiritual powers and everything you want to communicate with more efficiently. I'm feeling like at this point on your path, you might not necessarily know where you stand, right? You're still dealing with the spirituality from whatever religion or coven or organization that you belong to in a previous life. You're still kind of grappling with that now and trying to make a decision how to go forward. But if you're looking for a sign that like it's time to like pick a spiritual path, the cards are telling you to do that right now because October is a good time for that. And I'm feeling like you're going to be experiencing maybe some ghosts, maybe some synchronicities coming into your life the month of October in order to show you the way. I feel like that is definitely going to be like your spooky surprise the month of October. And you know, your spiritual path is however you want to pave it. It doesn't have to be strictly religious. You can pick and choose. You can move through spirituality in a way that is open and receptive to all types of cultures and all types of spirituality. Yeah, so the month of October, I feel like you're worried about something, and I don't know if you can see my cat here. You're worried about something, but that something is going to change. You're going to start a new project, get a new job, new opportunities. Petal. Stop it. Just a slight interruption here, but what I wanted to say was that I thought it was really funny that Petal, my cat, decided to come out for this video while I was doing pile 3, the cat card. Nothing in life is a coincidence. New opportunities are going to be coming into play the month of October, and your mystical energy is what's going to be guiding you through those opportunities. It might be a mystical kind of enterprise, or it might just be your mysticism that helps you get through those types of energies. Moving through with love. Nothing's impossible. Keep an open mind for whatever opportunities present itself to you. You've got some heavy past life energy that you're carrying on. The spooky surprise that I see for you is potentially some ghosts, probably ghosts that are children, visiting you. Don't be scared of that either. Ghosts visit us all the time and we're just not particularly receptive to it. And some synchronicities coming in to allow you to know what is the right path and what is the right spiritual journey that is ahead of you. Oh, Peace and love. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this reading today.